Hello, hello. I am Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang. Thank you for joining me on this sweaty Sunday sunset chat where it is still 90 degrees around the Beltway after crazy warm high temperatures. More of the same tomorrow, and we want to talk about that. Here's today's recap. We set an airport record there at Dulles where it was 98, setting a record for the date. So that is notable, and we could see a little more intensity tomorrow in this heat, and that's why we've got the entire orange coloring here. The entire area is under a heat advisory for tomorrow, including, additionally, a excessive heat watch for tomorrow afternoon with heat index values near 115 degrees possible, so please keep that in mind. No, Greg, thanks for tuning in. There's no snow in the forecast. Peter, hi. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're talking about heat safety going forward through midweek at least. Like, it's just not your standard midsummer hot, steamy conditions here in DC. Remember, our hottest average high temperature of the year is 89 degrees, and we're going to be well above that. And it's dangerous for anyone's body when heat index values, the apparent feels like temperature, when you combine air temperature with the humidity, these muggy dew points at or above 70 degrees, that we really need to mindfully hydrate. Our bodies start shutting down at 105 degree heat index, and it's going to be even worse tomorrow. An excessive heat watch, it's above a heat advisory potentially. We could see heat index values at 115 degrees, if not nearby 115 degrees. So it gets very dangerous when we don't see these overnight low temperatures going below 80 degrees. So that's what is a concern in the meteorological community, the weather community. We know that heat deaths spike for those who don't have access to air conditioning when overnight low temperatures do not get at or below 80 degrees. So we've got warm overnight lows are very troubling. I think these National Weather Service lows, they've been 5 degrees off the last couple nights. No offense to our great Sterling folks, LWX, National Weather Service. So it's a hot week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we could see some dangerous heat, especially tomorrow on Monday. So please stay safe, hydrate, stay out of the sun if you can. And to top it off tomorrow, especially south of I-66, we could see some severe storms, a 1 in 5 chance in the dark green in our region. Winds are a concern, above damaging wind gusts above 58 miles per hour. So please keep that in mind. Thunderstorms are possible, and 1 out of 5 chance that those thunderstorms then become severe. So please keep that in mind. Hello, Gary in Maine and Portland. Hope you are doing well. Jared, will we get some thunderstorms tomorrow? Yes, indeed. Here's this graphic. Not only thunderstorms, but a 1 in 5 chance, a decent chance of thunderstorms, but a 1 in 5 chance of seeing a severe thunderstorm as well, where damaging wind gusts are possible at or above 58 miles per hour. And hey, Jennifer, you're tuning in from Annapolis, and rain chances Leesburg. Jared, you have some rain chances tomorrow, roughly at least 50% chance or so. The best rain chances this week might prove to be Wednesday and Thursday as a cold front or two try and approach our region this week. Gosh, it is after dark and still 90 degrees, if you're able to see that. There we go. 90 degrees here in Alexandria. It is nice and toasty. It is dangerous when we can't cool below 80 degrees at nights, as we might stay above 80 degrees tonight. So please check on those who don't have access to air conditioning when we see a forecast like this. Please check on pets. Your children don't have always, young children, make sure they're not in a car. Make sure you're hydrating. Don't flush all your electrolytes, so replenish those electrolytes if you're outdoors for a long time tomorrow. This is a very hot and steamy week, and we're trying to highlight Monday, tomorrow especially, could be dangerous heat with heat index values at least around 105, if not worse. So let's get into that. Here it is, heat index apparent temperatures for tomorrow. And this is just at 2 p.m. Sometime tomorrow afternoon, we could get even higher than this 107 degree heat index value. And keep in mind, heat index is when you combine the air temperature with the muggy humidity that we're feeling. These are dew points that are at least in the upper 60s, if not near 75 degrees at times. So this whole week, we're going to be oscillating in the sticky and muggy categories, and that is not good for our bodies. We can't evaporate the sweat that is, as you can see, gathering on my skin. This is our natural body's cooling mechanism, the way our bodies cool off. And when that's denied with high relative humidity and these high dew points, these muggy conditions with lots of water vapor that you can sense in the air, that's why we get these troubling heat index values that are at or above 105 degrees. We could even see 110, 115 degree heat index tomorrow. So that's why there's an excessive heat watch in effect for our region for tomorrow afternoon. So If you must be out tomorrow, please jog, exercise, work early in the morning, or even as the sun is going down tomorrow night, but that's still a much higher temperature than the early morning hours, so keep that in mind. It's on repeats as we have this kind of stationary front. The heat, the rain chances all kind of stay in our region for much of this week, especially through midweek. So we got to get this cold front through here. A little bit of this dry line, this trough is trying to rotate through here. So we could see on Tuesday slightly lower dew points. So the heat index values might not be quite as dangerous, staying under the dangerous level of 105 degrees for an apparent heat index value. That's the feels like temperature when you combine the air temperature with the humidity. So not good for Tuesday, but hopefully not quite dangerous. And then let me show you Wednesday. It's more of the same, and this could be another spike in the heat index. We could see muggy dew points return near 75 degrees, so please stay tuned to capitalweathergang.com. Follow us on Twitter at Capital Weather, and our latest forecast you can touch on my face and it'll pop up below on your mobile device or above if you're on your desktop, or go directly to cwg.news/latest. Greg Porter put out a great PM update on our blog, capitalweathergang.com. So hot and steamy. We might get a break by the end of the week. Here's temperatures on Friday, maybe around 90. Low confidence if we can get a cold front through here in the Thursday timeframe, maybe a second cold front on Friday. So stay tuned as we get closer to Wednesday, Thursday. A cold front or two tries to hang out and pass through our region if we're lucky. So the high rain chances this week are really highlighted for Wednesday and Thursday. But I don't want to forget that tomorrow we could have a 1 in 5 chance of severe storms tomorrow. Here's Saturday, just giving you a sneak preview of the low confidence this far out, but cooling down to near or around 90 degrees, low 90s, not too bad. All right, Gary, Wednesday looks nice and hot here in the DC area at least. Here's heat index values for you, approaching maybe near 105, so borderline dangerous. I'm sorry if you're in DC, that's going to be a very hot birthday, so please stay safe. Heather, indeed, lots of sad faces on this, I know. Record heat index is at least 120 in DC. That's a great question, Tyler. I'll look that up for sure. But that's probably when we had dew points. I think our record high dew point is 82 degrees in DC. And luckily, we're staying at or below 75 degree dew points, so that's something. So while I'm taking some questions, let me put up the forecast at a glance for this week. Doesn't tell the whole story, so in a second I'll go into some heat safety tips because we have high dew points this week. Yeah, 2020, Carol, keeps on bringing fun, doesn't it? Let's see, Bob, you need rain, so let's talk about rain, Bob. You are probably in a dry spot, and here's some good news. Thunderstorms are possible tomorrow, but in the dark green, not only are thunderstorms possible tomorrow, we could see south of I-66 a 1 in 5 chance of a severe thunderstorm, so keep that in mind. Damaging gusty winds at or above 58 miles per hour are a problem potentially in these thunderstorms tomorrow, so we'll have to watch that at capitalweathergang.com. Follow us on Twitter, Capital Weather, and for just severe weather alerts from Twitter, go to @DCWeatherAlerts. That's our handle on Twitter that can push you some of just the severe weather alerts. So generally tomorrow winds. This is the kind of winds we're thinking about through tomorrow. Generally light, but they could get gusty tomorrow afternoon as the storms approach. So outside of thunderstorms, the winds aren't too bad, but I just want to highlight that this should help you think about wind tomorrow. Approaching thunderstorms might mean some extra wind. And here's the next 48 hours. So I know we're asking for rain. A lot of us in this region, it's very hit or miss. Thunderstorms this time of year do not overspread the region to give us a really good soaking rain over a large area. So the next 48 hours, we're favored over near Harrisonburg and Woodstock, kind of along the I-81 corridor and south of I-66, and then south and east of town as well. But, we just have to see ultimately where this kind of stationary front that is hanging north of us, if it can sink a little further south, that keeps kind of the rain chances further south, and if it stays more to our north tomorrow, we could see more rain here in DC and points north as well. So this is the next 48 hours. This gives you a general sense that rain chances south of I-66 have the best chance. Your garden should get a little more moisture for you. I know I'm watering every day, so you are not alone, gardeners. And here's what we have had looking in the past over the last 7 days. I wanted to show you this. We do have some abnormally dry areas because we have not had steady overspreading rains throughout the region in the last 7 days. So if you see yourself on this map, and I know it's hard to sometimes pick yourself out on a map, but if you see a silver, gray, or white area where there was no rain over the last 7 days, you definitely deserve a right to complain. Your garden is definitely getting dry. We have the highest evapotranspiration rates this time of year. What that means, the sun is the highest and strongest it is in the sky. The plants are the most active that they are of any time of the year, sucking out moisture from the topsoil immediately. So it's a 1-2 punch when you don't get a replenishing, almost daily rain this time of year. The plants and the sun are really going to take care of a combination for your garden, sucking out all that topsoil moisture. So, and the areas in the yellow here from the National Drought Monitor, you are not imagining it. We do have some abnormally dry conditions around the area, especially in Virginia, Maryland, even in the Delmarva. I was surprised, even after some rains from Faye, they still could use a little bit more on the Delmarva Peninsula there. And then over the next 7 days, here's a grand total to give you a trend. Don't focus on specifics, but over the next 7 days, generally it's around town and points south where we can see maybe a little bit more rain. And I think this is a map that should be taken with a grain of salt. It has a lot of averaging over the next 7 days. It's a low confidence forecast. I've been trying to look at rainfall over 7 days, but it's going to be hit or miss. It's going to be popcorn, pop-up storms over the coming few days. So keep that in mind. Not everyone is going to see rain this coming week. We don't have any organized storm systems that are able to put a large, wide swath of rain over the region at one time. So let's put up some heat safety to keep that in mind for tomorrow. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. We're talking about dangerous heat potentially tomorrow and maybe again on Wednesday. So please keep in mind to mindfully hydrate over the next few days. Hey, Megan, thanks for tuning in. And Drew, people you've talked to have talked about severe weather Wednesday, maybe Thursday. I agree with that. We'd even, as you may have seen earlier in this broadcast, we were talking about storms, Drew, for tomorrow, especially south of I-66. A 1 in 5 chance of seeing some damaging wind gusts, and that means 58 miles per hour or greater gusts tomorrow in some of these storms. So it could be a little bit windy with these thunderstorms tomorrow, but hopefully, according to what the latest guidance is, not a widespread severe weather event tomorrow, but just keep it in the back of your mind to follow us on the blog tomorrow at CapitalWeatherGang.com and on Twitter at Capital Weather. Perceived temperature right now in Fairfax is 97 right now. Let's check here in Alexandria as I put up some heat tips just to think about heat safety. So the air temperature here in Alexandria, let me move my face, 91 degrees. Let's check the heat index. So that is the combination of the air temperature with the humidity, 101 here in Alexandria. And that's because we have this hot air temperature around 90 degrees and crazy high dew points. If I can find this for you on my Kestrel weather meter, it's about a 73 degree dew point right now. And this could be about what we see much of this week. Dew points in the low 70s, hopefully staying below 75 degrees. So that's the good thing, is that we shouldn't get too sultry and oppressive with dew points above 75. And let's look at the dew point comfort emoji scale here that we have at Capital Weather Gang. So generally this week, 65 to 75 degree dew points, and we're mostly concerned with tomorrow being dangerous heat index values. The apparent feels like temperature, when you combine the air temperature with the humidity, it could feel like near 115 degrees tomorrow afternoon. That's why there's a heat advisory in effect for the entire region, as you see here in orange, and an excessive heat watch is also in effect underneath this orange layer for much of the region tomorrow afternoon. For the orange covering heat advisory for heat index values up to 105, which is dangerous enough, and then an excessive heat watch behind this and for the region, because we could see heat index values go above 105 toward 115 degrees tomorrow. So please keep that in mind. We're coming out of today, a record high for the date at Dulles Airport. A little bit more intense, the heat tomorrow, if you can believe it. There could be some clouds tomorrow morning, so we'll have to see if we can indeed warm up as high as we think, near or around 100 degrees. It's possible, but we have to see. The bottom line is heat index values. The feels like apparent temperature for tomorrow could be, look at this, at least 107, and that's just at 2 p.m. That's a snapshot. So we could see somewhere in the afternoon hours tomorrow a momentary heat index of 112, 115 degrees, which is very dangerous. So please keep that in mind. And it lasts for, here's Tuesday. Heat index values forecast to be too close to 105 for my comfort, but hopefully not in the dangerous 105 or greater category for Tuesday. And then here's Wednesday, where I'm concerned again about 105 or higher heat index values as well for Wednesday. So keep that in mind. All right, what else do I have for you? Let's, since it's the Sunday sunset chat, while I look at your comments and questions, here's one little tidbit. I think tonight is our last 8:30 or later sunset, and then Tuesday morning is our last sunrise at 6 a.m. or earlier. So we are going to be putting those sunsets before 8:30, and the sunrises are going to be after 6 a.m. very shortly this week as some sort of benchmark, if you are thinking about that. 14.5 hour benchmark is also what we're going to lose this week for the entire day length, the daylight hours between sunrise and sunset. All right, yes, Susan, I'm sorry to say it could be worse tomorrow with heat index values of 105 to 115. Oh, that's Tuesday. Sorry, that was too low. Here's tomorrow, the dangerous levels, 105 to 115 heat index values tomorrow, Susan, I'm sorry to say. So if you want to do a bike ride, asks Horatio, you definitely want to do it before noon. If you can do it before 9 a.m., I would recommend it before that sun really kicks in as well. But yes, lower temperatures, the sooner in the day that you go for that bike ride. Good question, Horatio. Any exercise you need to do, I highly recommend tomorrow morning or tomorrow night after sunset, basically. But those will be higher air temperatures tomorrow night as well. All right, what else have I missed? Hey, Martina, thanks for watching. Susan, no, yes, indeed. I agree with the no sentiment at these heat index values for tomorrow. This is combining the heat and humidity, Susan, so keep that in mind. It is going to be dangerous tomorrow when we're talking about heat index values 105 to maybe 115 tomorrow. You really need to be careful. Let's put up some heat tips. I want everyone to be hydrating mindfully tomorrow. Excessive heat can be very dangerous, not allowing our bodies to cool down, especially in urban areas. The materials that build our dense urban core centers, when especially the air temperatures for overnight lows don't go below 80 degrees, it stays warm, and our bodies just don't cool off unless we have access to air conditioning. So wherever you are, I want you to practice tomorrow, especially potentially our most dangerous heat index values near 115, hopefully of this summer season, could be tomorrow, but we're also watching through midweek. Generally way too high heat index values. 105 degrees can't be ruled out even Tuesday, and maybe above 105 again, dangerous levels on Wednesday. All right, yes, Jeff, I will get out of the heat shortly. Here in Alexandria, let's do a check. It is still 91 degrees. Oof, not so good right now. The dew point is a nice and juicy 71 degrees. So let me make sure the camera can see that. When you combine the air temperature with that humidity, my heat index right now after sunset is 101 degrees here on my Kestrel weather meter in Alexandria. So please practice heat safety tomorrow, no matter where you are, and it's not necessarily tied to the sun when it gets this hot. The excessive muggy dew points don't allow our bodies to evaporate the sweat off our skin, so our heat just builds up on our bodies. Hey Mary, any rain this week? Yes, indeed. Let's start with tomorrow's rain potential. It could be some thunderstorms, a decent chance, as we have a stationary front trying to move slowly toward our region. So that keeps us in the moist zone, and showers and storms could pop over our region, especially south of I-66. We are watching for the potential of not only thunderstorms, but for a 1 out of 5 chance in the dark green, as you see here, of severe thunderstorms popping within some of the regular everyday thunderstorms that we have this time of year in the DC region. So keep that in mind. It could be a little windy in some of these thunderstorms, but damaging wind gusts are possible, and that means wind gusts over 58 miles per hour, so please keep that in mind. And overall, here's the week at a glance really quick. I want to show that to you. Hot, 90 or higher all week, even when we cool down for a moment, maybe on Friday. It should ease a little bit on Thursday, fingers crossed, but again, we have to see how one or more cold fronts, if they can move through our region on schedule, which is a big if, later this week to really cool us off. And the mugginess is going to be a factor, so keep that in mind. 65 to 75 degree dew points keep us in the sticky to muggy category. That back sweat that I'm feeling right now, you will feel it all week as well, at least through Wednesday. It looks like. So stay tuned to CapitalWeatherGang.com. I'm Camden Walker. For the latest forecast, go to cwg.news/latest, or you can touch on my face and it'll pop up below on your mobile device or up above if you're on your laptop or desktop to see everything we're talking about, including Comet Neowise. Go to cwg.news/Neowise for the comet, latest on the comet and more. There's lots to watch in the sky coming up over the next few weeks. And Mary, Sorry I didn't show you this, but rain potential over the next 48 hours, generally south of I-66. This gives you an idea, a general sense of where rain is favored over the next couple days. So that's just for the next 48 hours or so. And if you're interested in the general trends, which I don't want you to take as exact precision here, but over the next 7 days, still we're looking at favored areas for rain south of town, south of I-66 or so. But you can see most of the area has some chance of seeing one of these hit or miss thunderstorms. The highest chance for rain this week is, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, if one or more cold fronts can approach our region and try and cool us off by Thursday, Friday. So the upside of that with a cold front coming in is that we could have rain chances, maybe even some more severe weather, so stay tuned Wednesday and Thursday. So keep in mind, our average temperature is the hottest averages of the year, 89 and 71 for our low temperature. This is at DC Airport, and we are way above that when you look this week. It is way above our average high temperatures, especially when you combine in, this heat index combines the muggy dew points, the humid feeling you're going to feel this week. So you take our temperatures, the simple air temperatures in the mid 90s to near 100, you add in the humidity, you get heat index values that are dangerous tomorrow, and the 105 to maybe 115 degrees at some point tomorrow. This is just a snapshot at 2 p.m. tomorrow, so anything you need to do outside, please do it early tomorrow, and keep in mind all those heat safety measures. Check on the elderly, homeless, look for heat centers you can direct them to. Dial 311 if you're in downtown DC, you see someone who needs a cooling center. Anyone who doesn't have voluntary access to AC, children, pets, elderly, homeless, I really need your help looking out for everyone. I'm very lucky to have access to air conditioning, and you are probably as well. But please, it's very important. This is not just it's hot in DC. This is dangerous tomorrow for 105 to 115 degree heat index values tomorrow. So please keep that in mind. This is not just everyday summertime July heat tomorrow. Hey Elizabeth, thanks for tuning in. Hey Susan, most welcome. Hey Erica, thank you so much. I appreciate you in these times as well. And yes, Elizabeth, I am a little bit damp because the temperature here in Alexandria, actually here's the heat index, it's still 100 degrees right now on my Kestrel weather meter. When you combine the air temperature with the muggy dew points, the temperature alone is still 91 degrees after the sun sets. That is like quite warm. So keep all those heat safety tips for yourself in mind this week, and let's show you a few more, because I'm very, very concerned when I see heat index values 105 to 115 degrees potentially tomorrow. I want you to know that it's dangerous heat tomorrow. This is not just, oh, we're sweating, let's complain about it heat that we see most Julys here in DC. We haven't hit 100 degrees in DC, which is possible tomorrow, and we haven't hit 100 degrees since 2016, so please keep that in mind as well. Excessive heat is very dangerous, especially in urban centers, densely populated areas. All that artificial material that forms our cities takes forever to cool off, and the heat deaths can spike when we see heat waves like this, because the dangerous threshold, the most dangerous threshold, is when the low temperatures overnight don't go below 80 degrees. We've been 79 degrees the past 2 mornings, and I would love the National Weather Service to not keep forecasting 74 degrees overnight lows, and we have been 79 twice for those 2 74-degree forecasts. But the point is, staying focused on the future, 80 degrees or higher for overnight lows, that is very dangerous, and heat deaths can spike. Cooling centers will likely be open, I think, in Montgomery County tomorrow, DC tomorrow. Dial 311 if you see anyone needing a cooling center. And you yourself, make sure you mindfully hydrate tomorrow. Do your exercise early in the morning. Any work you have outside that's strenuous, please be careful of your pets, your young children. Don't leave any of them in cars, and just seek shade if you must be outside, and replace those electrolytes if you are sweating a lot. You also don't want to drink too much water too quickly by flushing out your electrolytes and your natural salts in your blood as well. So it's a minefield when it gets this hot. So please be careful, and thank you for tuning in. I'm sorry to talk so long. Appreciate you. I'm Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. Or for the latest forecast, go to cwg.news/latest. And again, stay safe in the heat tomorrow. Heat advisory in effect in the orange for the entire region tomorrow. Heat index values could go up to 115 degrees tomorrow afternoon, so an excessive heat watch behind this heat advisory could go into effect as an excessive heat warning tomorrow. It was hot today. We set a record at Dulles. We could hit 100 degrees tomorrow, which would be our first time since 2016. It is dangerous, and just to top it off, we have a 1 in 5 chance here in the dark green areas south of I-66, particularly tomorrow, of seeing severe storms. Just a small 1 in 5 chance with everyday thunderstorms throughout the region trying to pop up tomorrow. Keep in mind, damaging wind gusts are possible in the dark green areas for 58 miles per hour or more. And here's your week at a glance. Just looking at the temperatures doesn't tell the whole story. We're going to have muggy dew points, that humid feeling, especially through Wednesday. You're going to be sweating like I am. You're going to have that back sweats. You're going to have maybe even difficulty breathing because the air is so thick. A lot of that water vapor is just not great for exercise unless you can do it very early in the morning. Kathleen, thank you for tuning in. And Earl, thank you for tuning in. And Elizabeth, you're most welcome. Thank you all for tuning in. Yes, stay cool tomorrow. Stay in that air conditioning. Look out for those who don't have access to air conditioning, please. And stay well until I talk to you next weekend, when, sneak preview, we might be talking about a recharge in heat next Sunday and Monday as well, but we will get to that on our next Sunday Sunset Chats in a week's time. Thanks for joining. I'm Camden Walker. Follow us on Twitter as well, @Capital Weather. Bye-bye for now.